Good morning. Seniors, raise your hand. Where are you at? Awesome. Juniors, most of the room? Juniors?
Yeah.
All right, sophomores, raise your hand. Great. Freshmen. Any freshmen in the room? Yeah, still, you got a lot of freshmen. It's cool. All right, my name is Josh Oakes, and here's what I want to promise you here for just a sec. I want to talk to you for the next 20, 25 minutes, and I'm going to give you 110% of myself, so all that I ask is you do the same for me. What I want to do is show you how the good side of social media. I want to leave you with a few tactical tips. You can throw these tips out the window, you don't have to use them at the end, but I'm going to give you my very best stuff. So raise your hand, please, if you don't mind. Who has their dream college in mind? Anybody? Okay, cool. I want to hear from 3 or 4 of you. Raise your hand if you want to tell me what your school is. Yes, in the gray. Hawaii, great. Okay, yes, nice and loud. Yes, in the black shirt. If I'm pointing at you, it's you. Oregon, yes, I want to hear from 2 more in the gray. Yes. Yes. USC, I love it. I'm a Trojan. One more. I can't hear you. Georgetown. Okay, so we've heard from a few of you. SC, Hawaii, Georgetown. It could be Stanford, Harvard. It could be anywhere else. There's a dream school for all of us. Well, what I want to show you, let me have your attention just for a second. What I want to talk to you about is I'm going to teach you exactly how to lose those opportunities and how to get them. I want to show you, today I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm not going to tell you social media is bad. Instead, I want to show you how other people have lost opportunities so that you know you can choose to take that path. And I want to show you how other people have gotten opportunities. I'm going to show you exactly how to post to woo over the college of your dreams. If you decide to do that, that's fine. If you decide not to, that's fine too. Today is all about, there's one key phrase I'm going to talk to you about. And I want you to ask yourself, and this is what colleges tell me. They say, look, Josh, and by the way, I don't do this full time. I run a marketing department at an agency that I started many years ago. I got my start at Disney Studios in traditional brand marketing. I grew up in Southern California here. I lived in Hermosa Beach really close. You're going to learn about that here in just a few minutes. What I want to show you today are some of the tactics and techniques you can use to impress colleges. So first of all, who's this guy, Josh Oakes? I ran for politics in Hermosa Beach 6 years ago. I was the youngest guy running for city council out of all the other candidates. Here's me voting for myself on the day of the election. I was nervous. But here's what I knew that none of the other candidates knew. I knew that I knew the internet better than anyone, and that when people would see my sign, this is the house that you're all familiar with, that where Hermosa Beach ends and Manhattan Beach begins on the Strand. Are you guys familiar with that? Have you ever been to that house? Yeah. So they put my sign up. But a lot of my friends, I had the ragtag young group of friends that wanted me to win, so they put my sign on all their bikes. And one of our cool ways to get my name out was to park bikes all over the city with my name on it. But I knew that there's one thing that people would do. They'd say, who is this Josh Oakes guy that's running all these people seem to like? And they'd go to one place to try and learn more about me. Does anyone know what that one place was? It's Google. Yeah, they'd go to Google to try and find my Instagram or anything else to see how inappropriate I was. So I set out to make sure that I had the very best Google results, and that's what I'm going to show you today. It turns out it's exactly the same set of techniques that you can use to win over any college coach or any college admissions department. It works exactly the same. It's also going to be the same if you in college want to get that dream internship so you can work at a big company. I got that dream internship at Disney, and it changed my career. It's perhaps what put me here today. So what I want to do is show you some of those techniques. Now fast forward a few years, I lost politics by 350 votes to the incumbent mayor. The guy that was mayor of Hermosa Beach beat me. He's now a dear friend of mine. However, I left politics and I wrote a book called Light, Bright, and Polite. And I traveled the country training some of the world's biggest brands, saying here's how you can use social media to win over your customers. I used it in politics. One of those big brands said, Josh, will you please recraft a second book and talk to teenagers and teach them how to win over colleges. That brand was Universal Studios Hollywood. They helped me get this book off the ground. I'm going to give you the very best stuff. In my eyes today, you're all adults. I'm not going to tell you what to do. You can do whatever you want. But I'm going to give you the stuff that colleges tell me all the time that I put in the book. Exactly what they want to see. But this isn't just for colleges. You see, you can get a job at just about any one of the companies that my team advises. I started at Disney Studios, but now we advise some of the world's best brands. how to shine online. And today that's what I'm here to show you. So we're gonna play a little silly game, and some of you are gonna giggle, but I'm about to show you two celebrities, and they're both gonna be on Twitter. We're gonna look at tweets from both of them. However, the two celebrities, the one thing I want you to ask yourself, and this is where it gets a little serious, this is what colleges are gonna ask. Colleges are going to say, hey, this person seems like they went to a great school. Mira, Costa is a great community, a great school. They have good grades. However, let's go see what they look like online because there's only one spot on this team or 5 spots in this very competitive program. And they're going to ask, how positive is this person on social media? They're okay with you taking selfies. They're okay with you having fun. They're going to ask, how positive is this person? Because they don't have time to babysit people. They don't have time for any of this. They want to make sure you're positive so you can add to their organization. So we're going to ask that same question as we play Miley Cyrus versus Taylor Swift. And while we're looking at these two silly people, I'm going to ask you which one, who's going to let them in? And USC, UCLA, Harvard, Stanford, are they going to look at the left or the right? Because Miley Cyrus can show us how to upset teachers and coaches, how she can be dramatic and upset the cheer team. And if you've ever wanted to know the one tweet that you can send to get fired, I'll show you that too. So here we go. First of all, how would Miley upset her teacher? She'd say something like this: this class is so lame, why am I not home sleeping? Versus something else. Now colleges see this every day. Who are they going to let in? I'm excited for the weekend. Same thing. Is social media bad? No, Twitter's awesome. Twitter can be very, very good for you, but it can also be very, very bad. Next, how to upset your coach. Now, we're all in this room because many of us are athletes. The other football team sucks, I hope they lose, versus we're up by 24 points, go team. Do you think that college of your dreams is going to search for you online? Do you think that the coach of your dreams in the program, how many of us want to play sports in college? Anybody here? Half the room. Awesome. Do you think they're going to search for you online? Yes or no? Yeah, they probably are. So this is a chance for them. They've been telling me all the time, we want to find people with a positive attitude. Next, how to be dramatic. Hey Steve, I'm glad we broke up. You're a jerk. You made me cry. Versus, I'm so lucky that I have great friends to support me. Now many of you might be saying, Josh, I would never post that. I would never post, hey Steve, you're a jerk. But colleges see this every day. And you're competing not with yourself. You're competing with all kinds of other people, and there's 1, 2, 3, 5 spots. So you just have to ask yourself, everybody else that has 4.0s, what does their social media look like compared to yours? Is it positive? The cheer team needs help. Sally keeps falling. Versus next year, I think I'm trying out for the cheer team. Here's what colleges say about this all the time. They say, we need somebody that's a part of the solution, not the problem. And you get to decide which one of these is going to be a part of the solution, not the problem. Next and last, raise your hand if you've heard of a company called Cisco. Cool. Okay. Now, many of you probably have a best friend in this room, and you're going to have best friends in college, but also at this company, it gives you 72,000 chances to have best friends. Next, this company, if you want to travel, it's going to give you 65 plus opportunities to do the work you want right out of school and to go travel to different countries. See you later, Mom and Dad. I want to go to Italy for the summer, the year, 2 years, learn another language. And last, if you're tired of buying the latest iPhone or asking your parents, hey, can I have some money to buy the latest iPhone? There's probably enough of a salary in the $12 billion in revenue to have a great salary. And the coolest part is they make some neat technology that's fun to work with. 300 million households are powered by these people's technology. Would you agree this is probably a decent place to start your career right out of college for the first couple years, right? Probably put you on, it'd be like my Disney, put me on the map. Well, I want to show you exactly how to get fired from Cisco. So a young woman, she applied to Cisco to get a job. She went to a good high school, like you are here. She went to a good college. She worked hard, she got good grades. And she filled out an application, and they called her a week later. They said, we love what we see. Why don't you come in for an interview? She goes in a week later, she interviews. She did very well. And this is what I want for all of you. I want you to get that in-person interview. You see, social media helps you shine online, but I want you to go in person because you're all outstanding. You can do very well once you're in person. She did very well once she's in person. She left. She went home, she got a call a week later, and they said, hey, we like what we see. You had a great application. You shined in person. We want to offer you a job. Come join our family here at Cisco. We want to offer you a salary. benefits, an iPhone, and all this cool stuff. What do you say? She said, awesome, I'd love to. She hung up the phone, and what do you think she did next? She went to Twitter. Here's the exact tweet that she sent. She said, Cisco just offered me a job. Now I have to weigh the fat paycheck against the daily commute and hating the work. Now, do you think Cisco saw this tweet? Do you think that big brands see tweets, even or Instagram posts, even if you don't include their @ sign and tag them in it? Yeah, they do. It's because they sometimes or often make consumer products like Cisco, and they want to know if the product is broken. In this case, a router or a product like that that's Wi-Fi. If it's broken, you're going to tell people and complain, and they want to get to you first, so they're listening aggressively. And colleges are listening too, to what you say about them as well. So, yeah, they saw it, and here's how they responded. They said, who's the hiring manager? I'm sure they would love to know that you will hate the work. We here at Cisco are versed in the web. Essentially saying, hey, we power the internet. We have Wi-Fi devices and hardware. If we power something, it's very easy for us to be on the web, right? Now, unfortunately, do you think that this young woman got this job? No, yeah. See, before she learned how very fat the paycheck may have been, this opportunity was gone quicker than a Snapchat photo. It just went poof. It vanished, right? So, here's what I want to talk to you about. Now, you should be saying to me, especially guys in the back of the room, you should be saying, Josh, you're way too hard on this young woman. She went to Mira, Costa. She went to a good college. She had great grades. Josh, she could go interview anywhere else and get another job. Why are you being so hard on her? Do you think the next company would Google her? Yeah, and here's what they find. They find that this one incident was picked up and written about, and it is the #1 way to get fired with one tweet. You see, it was picked up by CNN, ABC News, NBC News, Huffington Post, and now, and this is where this is where all of you quickly become, in my book, applicants. This is her new resume. Her new resume is Google. And that's where they're going to go to. They'll see your college application. They'll be cool. Yeah, you say some nice things about yourself. Awesome. Yeah, that's neat. They're going to go to Google, and they're going to try and find out your attitude. Does this look like it's a positive young woman? No, unfortunately. It's somebody that perhaps is a little bit snarky, and she got caught. It's unfortunate. Not insurmountable. She could probably go get a great job someday, but it takes a few years to work out of that. This is where I want to talk to you about the 3 words that have kept me out of trouble. Almost got me elected to politics. I asked myself before I ever press send on a Snapchat, is this light? Is it positive? Is it fun? Next, if it is, check. Is this bright? Be smart, Josh. Think first. Are you going to get fired from Cisco before you ever get to see your office? If it is bright, then check. And last, is this polite? Is this something that we're proud of everybody seeing, including some of my big senior level clients? Am I proud of them seeing it? If it is, it's light, bright, and polite. Hey, do you guys mind saying light, bright, and polite with me on the count of 3? 1, 2, 3. Light, bright, polite. Cool. Now, you guys know how to hit the 2 buttons on your iPhone and take a screenshot, obviously, right? Everybody knows that. It takes something that's very temporary, and it turns it into something less than temporary. It goes into the camera roll. Well, here's my friend Blake, who goes surfing all the time, and he's singing me happy birthday on Snapchat one day. Hey, happy birthday to you. Cool, thanks, Blake. Well, I downloaded the video, and I texted it back to him. That's my little iPhone text message thing. Not so he could play it once, but so he could play it 1,000 times. Not just 24 hours, but he could replay it whenever he wants, using another app right here in the middle. Blake called me with a look on his face saying, how'd you download, what did you do there? And I said, well, I downloaded the video. It's the best birthday song I've heard. Thank you. I watched most of it. Do you mind if I post it on Facebook? Blake said, no, dude, didn't you watch the whole video? I said, no, I didn't. Who has time to watch the whole thing? I mean, we all, skip, right? So, turns out, Blake said, don't do it. Thanks for asking. At the end of it, I said, let's ditch work tomorrow, call in sick, lie to the employers, and let's go surfing for your birthday, right? I would have gotten him in huge trouble. Now, this happens as adults all the time. We're all familiar with this. Things that are temporary can become less than temporary, and I could have posted it and hurt because his employer definitely knows who I am, unfortunately. And that's what I want to talk to you about. My laptop just turned off. Hold on one sec. Oh, there we go. Okay. So I want to talk to you about a little tiny technique that keeps my online image extremely clean. I've been playing with this for a long time, but it works every time. So I used this in New York recently when there was a backyard barbecue, and I wasn't proud of the photo with everybody holding a red cup. So what I do in instances like that, when my friends want to take a photo, I pull my phone out and volunteer it to take an image. Can I have my volunteer come up here real quick? Oh, your name was Kayla? Kayla, come on down. Let's give a round of applause for Kayla. Come here. So what I want you to consider doing, now this may change. Can you stand right over there? Thanks. This may, one of you may do this in the room, or all of you might try it just once. So what I do is when everybody says, hey, let's take a photo, I volunteer my phone, I hit the button real quick, and I open up the camera app. I go to somebody that looks innocent on this street at the party, somebody that looks like they're not going to run away with my iPhone, and I say, hey, I've got my iPhone open, do you guys mind taking it, let's use my phone. So, can you take about 5 of them? I tell this person, hey, take 5 of them because I'm going to blink, because I'm kind of a dork sometimes, and if there's a camera, I will blink. And then I tell my friends, and this is where it gets really interesting, I tell my friends, hey, I'd like to post this on Instagram, I'm applying to college, do you mind if we not act like Miley Cyrus? No peace sign, no tongue sticking out, let's take a smiley photo. You guys mind? We have an agreement? Okay, let's smile, ready? Go ahead and take a horizontal photo. Take a horizontal photo. Wow. All right, let's give a round of applause. Thank you so much. Then at the end of the day, who's the one with the photos at the end of the event? Is it me or is it, it's me? Yeah. Then I get to pick. Which one am I going to post? Am I going to post the one where we look silly, or dorky, or red cups everywhere? Am I going to pick the one where my friends look great around me and I look great in the middle? And the moral of the story here is, colleges are always telling me, hey, you're only as good as your friends in the photos. The friends that you have that are acting wild, even if you say, oh, but I didn't have a red cup, or that wasn't me. They're looking and they're judging. How positive is this person? It's really an average of the photo. And this is where they tell me it's quality over quantity. They tell me all the time, while you're there speaking to the students, can you let them know that? So, that's because every photo that we send out is like a button on an elevator. It either takes us in a college's eyes up or down. Josh, I'm in the gray zone. You don't understand. I'm really good about doing both. Unfortunately, they don't care. They're too busy. They just want to see you quickly and decide if you're positive or not. Raise your hand if you've Googled yourself in the last month. Anybody? Oh, more than the rest. Yeah. Raise your hand if you've Googled your parents' name in the last month. Anybody search for their teachers here? Yeah. All right. So I want to show you the 5 ways that colleges are going to search for you online. First, they're going to start with Google, and you can do the same thing. It's free. You ready? Okay. So first, they're going to start with Google. Then they're going to search for your first name and your last name because they have that on the college application. Next, they're going to get frustrated because they'll find tons of other people. So they'll search your first name and last name in quotes, obviously without the plus sign. But here's what quotes does that without quotes doesn't do. When you don't have quotes, it says, hey, find my first name and my last name anywhere in any order on the page. But if you put it in quotes, it says, find my first name plus a space plus my last name in that order somewhere on the page. They'll still probably find a few other people and they'll be confused. So they're going to search for first name plus last name plus city. They're going to try and hone in on where you're applying from. And if they still see other people, they'll search for first name plus last name plus school, the school that you're applying from. And then next, to try and find out who you really are, first name, middle name, last name, and last, they're going to search for your email address that you put on your application in quotes. Now ladies, I know you're Googling right now and that's exciting, but you're going to want to watch this because we're going to look at how would you do that, Josh, really quick. Josh Oakes, with quotes, without. You never know if they're going to go both or just one, so I want all of you to consider doing that. Next, put the city that you live in or you're applying from. I live now in Santa Monica. Next, I didn't go to Santa Monica High School, but you get the idea. And last, where I worked, but you would probably put a school or another city or another organization. Now, next, here's what I want to do. I want to show you my Google results. Up in the upper left is without quotes, and the upper right is with quotes. Similar Google results, and that's because I've flooded the web with such positive results that Google goes, hey, we get the idea. You kind of control this Google result. So you've got my Twitter account right up here. And you can see every one of my tweets. And what I want to talk to you about is Google and Twitter are now connecting accounts. So when you Google somebody's name, it tries to find a Twitter account and put it on the first page. And in this case, that happens. And it's important for you to know every tweet can be tied to your name. So if you're having fun and you think it's cool to be a little bit snarky, it may end up on the front of Google. That's why I'm giving you all these tools so you can decide how you look to colleges. Next, in the upper left, the high school I went to, there's a video. Because when I did a corporate project, they put the high school I went to in the bio. And in the upper right, the city I live in and work in, Santa Monica. Next, you've got in the upper left my middle name and then my email address. All these things you should consider going through because if a college can't find you, they're going to go through. If you have less of a set of Google results and a college can't find you, they're going to get frustrated. They're going to click on all these and then they're going to give up. They'll put you in the maybe stack. So I want you to curate that first page so you're proud of every result. Now I want to show you the right way and the wrong way to use Google. First, we're going to show you the wrong way to search for yourself online. Do you see my little headshot in the upper right? That means I'm logged into Gmail, YouTube, Chrome, or anything else. And Google's listening to what I've searched for in the past. So if I went and searched for myself right now, I'd see that my results now, it's going, hey, your Google Contacts has this dude in here and he matches that topic. And hey, there's personalized results here, neat. But here's how colleges see me. Colleges see the one on the right. They see these images. They don't see the radio interview and all this other stuff. So they're very, very different sometimes. Josh, how do I get to the Google that when I search for myself, I see the way colleges will see instead of my personalized results? Two ways to get there. One, you can log out of Gmail, out of Google, out of YouTube or Chrome, and then you can go to Google and search for yourself. But you have to remember your password. So here's another little tactical tip. Click in the upper right or the upper left, you'll see Chrome, and you'll see Firefox, Internet Explorer, or Safari. Click on the settings and go to either private window, that's all you have to remember, new private window or new incognito window. Here's what that does. That it opens up a new window and you see the little creepy spy dude up in the upper left. He's essentially saying, hey Josh, for this one window, I hid your cookies, I kept all of your old tabs intact, but now you can go to Google in this window and you're signed out. Now you can go search for yourself and you will see different sets of results. You'll see the results that colleges and future employers see. So here we go. What do you think they're going to click on first? Do you think they're going to click on, images? You think they're going to click on images first? Yeah, they will. Two ways to get to your images if you can't find them. If they don't appear like this, you can just click on the image tab up top, and that's what they're going to go to. So let's click on those images. You can see me up at the top here, getting my friend to donate money to the Hermosa Beach firefighters, me on the day of the election when it was raining, trying to get more votes before people voted. But why is there a baby dressed as Harry Potter in my Google results? It's kind of weird, right? Well, it's my job to help brands better understand networks, and I had to dive into Pinterest one day. It was my job to get into Pinterest, create some boards. You look at content up here in Pinterest, and you drag things into that. It doesn't mean you download them. It means you simply... I created one called Cars, because I built a street ride with my dad in high school. I built one called Travel, because I travel the country. And then I built one called Adorable Things Worth Sharing. And I put the kids and puppies and babies and stuff like that in there. And it made total sense. Hey, someone's going to enter Pinterest from the front. They're going to see my boards. They're going to go in there. Awesome, right? Totally threw me off guard when I found out that Google slices every network you're in and just pulls the most interesting images out. It pulled out baby Harry Potter and it pulled out nothing else, and it tied it to my name even though I didn't add my name to it, I didn't download it, I didn't change the image, I didn't upload it. So now baby Harry Potter comes up. This is the same thing that's going to happen with us. Colleges are not going to pick the most wholesome image and go, well, let me learn more about that. They're going to go right to the one that catches their eye and they're going to say, this is creepy, a social media safety guy, and he's got baby dressed as Harry Potter on here. That's weird. And it could be the same thing for you, and that's why I want you to look at your Google image results, logged in and logged out. They're going to go to the most awkward one, and they're going to try and learn more about it, and they'll enter Pinterest in a way that you may not have planned. So, next. That's where I want to talk to you about, do you feel comfortable taking your Instagram profile, even if it's private, and when you're applying to college, saying, hey, You've seen my college application. You know who I am on the weekends or on the weekday. You know what all my stats look like. I have great grades. But I want to show you who I am on the weekends. I volunteer. I do all this different stuff. I travel. I babysit. And I'm proud of every image. If you are comfortable with every image on your Instagram, then you're moving in the right direction. If you're not, then you have hopefully a little bit of time to work on that, because unfortunately a lot of it gets out. Now, next and last, I want to share with you a portfolio of positive images from my friends. I've got about 80 pictures to share with you. So here we go. So here's my friend Camille on Instagram. And she posts this. Instead of showing red cups, which she can do, she's of age, she can drink. She instead posts, I'm so thankful, thanks to my friends for inviting me to join them in these great seats, go Dodgers. She hides everything else, no peace sign, because she knows that working at the world's largest agency has responsibilities. And it's because of her positive online footprint that she got a job. Now, next, in the far upper right, you see Rich DeMuro. He's on KTLA Channel 5. Instead of talking about how good he is at tech tips, he instead volunteers and he says, thank you to Shelter Hope Pet Shop for letting us share some of our tech tips with you. Now, these people probably also take selfies, and that's fine. You can have fun, but notice how positive they are and being very inclusive as they volunteer. Next, in the upper left, you'll see Lisa on the far right. She works at Walt Disney Studios, or actually on Disneyland. And she runs digital marketing for Disneyland on the theme park every day. Instead of taking a selfie, she posts this: special thanks to my team at Disneyland for all they do to make dreams come true. She puts everybody in there. Now, Disneyland likes how positive she is on social media so much, they gave her more responsibility. They said, here, why don't you run a little bit more of this and more of this? And now she's going up in the ranks just with how positive she is on Instagram. Here's my friend Miss Utah, Kelsey Major, far left. She posts every time you take a camera out, she puts herself together really nicely. She makes sure she knows that brands are going to see her. She says, thank you to my friends that have supported me over the last year in the Miss America pageant. Now, some of you are thinking, Josh, can I just have fun sometimes? Absolutely. But if you want to, if you really want, if it comes down to the wire and you want to impress colleges, try peppering a few of these in there. Try adding a few of these to your account. Here's Camille one more time. She posts with her family in the backyard, Easter egg hunt. Instead of making it about herself, it's inclusive. It's days like this that make me thankful for my family and all this other stuff. And then last, raise your hand if you have a dog or a cat at home. Cool. Okay, so here's a picture of my family and a dog. And I always tell people, whenever possible, try to include what you already have. You're already doing stuff. You don't have to go out and do anything you're not comfortable with. Include that. There's an 80% chance or so that that's going to start a dialogue in a positive direction. I want to show you a senior real quick, right before she got accepted to college, the 3 tweets she sent to get accepted to college. Here's Elise. She was sending out college applications, and she said, so proud of my BBHS Tigers. Shout out to Chance for being my favorite player, best friend. She's sending out applications, he's sending out applications, and she knew that she'd get discovered by her dream school, KU. So she sends out something like this. No peace sign, no tongue sticking out. She's pretty proud of her school seeing this. One day there was a power outage. Instead of complaining, she posts this. She says, I'm so thankful to have such a great family, had a great day even with our power outage. She posts a picture like this. Here's what colleges say. Colleges say, you know what? We have a power outage every month in our freshman dorms. We are always taking people off campus. We're looking out for their safety in ways that they don't know. If this young woman is this positive when things are going wrong, we need somebody like this on our campus. We need somebody that's going to do this on social media when things are wrong. Let's get her in here for a first round interview. And last, one day she got accepted to KU, and they said, come look at the dorm rooms. Well, dorm rooms are small. They're like the size of my laptop, and you have to live in them all freshman year. Instead of her complaining and saying, wow, this is going to suck next year, she posts this. She said, I had so much fun on my college visit to KU today. I'm so ready for next year. Elise knows that even when you're in Cisco and they offer you a job, it doesn't mean you're in Cisco ready to do that job, right? And the same thing can happen to colleges. If you get a scholarship, you still have to be very careful what you say. Here's my last photo. This young man knew so very much that he wanted to be discovered by colleges, and he wanted to be public on social media, and that it was time for him to get discovered because he was more wholesome than other people. that he did a little bit of cleaning up to his Twitter. Yeah, he had some selfies, yeah, he was positive, but he had fun. And he changed his Twitter handle to his real name, and he wrote a handwritten note and tweeted it. He said, "Dear colleges, please accept me, I'm a good person, sincerely, Jonathan." And he posted this. Now this was picked up by news organizations, this was picked up by colleges, and in a positive way they said, "Wow, why does this young person get it? He wants to be discovered. He's trying to actually get to the first page of the results so we can find him. We understand he's got selfies, whatever, but he's a good, normal person. We want to find him." And so in a positive way, this got picked up in a good way. So here's my formula real quick. You should volunteer somewhere. Even if you're walking a neighbor's dog, pick something you could do so that you can take a classy group photo and you can say thank you to this organization or to my friends for giving me the opportunity to do this activity. Hey guys, I want to thank you for having me out. You guys are awesome.